Welcome to Prof One YouTube channel. Please, if this is your first time watching my YouTube video, subscribe for more videos. So today's video is on algebra, that is the principle of mathematical induction. We are going to look at what is principle of mathematical induction and solve some examples for your own understanding. So let's hit. So with mathematical induction, it's one of the easiest, but it becomes very easy when you know these three rules in your head. So let's check something here. The principle of mathematical induction is an important property of the positive integers. It is especially useful in providing or proving statements involving all positive integers when it is known, for example, blah blah blah. So for you to get this mathematical induction, you need to know three rules. That is, the first rule is prove the statement for n is equal to 1. Assume the statement is true for n is equal to k, and you do that for k plus 1. So now, when I say this, maybe you don't have the understanding, but let's go to some examples and let's solve together for your own understanding. So now, let's take the first example. The example 1 is prove that 1 plus 2 plus dot 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 plus n is equal to n bracket open n plus 1 all over 2. How are you going to do this? Now, we'll do this with the three rules. First, you're going to check whether this equation is true when n is equal to 1. So let's do that. So with when n is equal to 1, you're going to get 1. That is this. We are starting with this n. We are starting with this equation. This equation is what we are proving for. So when n is equal to 1, you're going to have 1 into bracket 1 plus 1 over 2, which will give you 1. It means that the statement is true when n is equal to 1. The second rule is you assume that n is equal to k. So you're going to replace wherever you see n, you replace it with what? K. So as you see, this has been replaced by k, as you see here, and n plus 1, all being replaced by k. Next thing you do is you replace it when n is equal to k plus 1. So wherever you see k, you put in k plus 1. Let's do that. So now, we know that this k is k plus 1, k plus 1. This side, we have k plus 1 already, so it will be k plus 1 plus 1, which is from this side. As in, here will become k plus 1. This will be k plus 1. That will be k plus 1 plus 1 over 2. So when you simplify that, you're going to get k into bracket k plus 1, k plus 1 plus 1. From here, what you need to do is with this, we simplify this. We're going to simplify this. How do you simplify this? Now, the reason why I brought this k here is that now this k plus 1 is this k plus 1 is equal to this, right? So you're going to simplify this one, as in you're going to simplify, but you're going to replace it into this equation. So now we know that k plus 1 is now k plus 1 bracket open k plus 1 plus 1 all over 2. Let's forget about this side, right? Now k plus 1 here is now equal to what? K plus 1 bracket open k plus 1 plus 1. So you're going to replace this k plus 1, this one, with this, with the whole of this. That's why I had it here. So when you simplify this, you're going to get k squared plus 3k plus 1 plus 2 all over 2. You simplify it, and the answer will give you k plus 1 bracket open k plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So with this, what you need to know is that the three rules, you prove that n is equal to 1 when n is equal to k, and when n is equal to k plus 1. Now you're going to replace k plus 1 with the expression. Know that this is k plus 1 here. So k plus 1 is now being replaced by k plus 1 bracket open k plus 1 plus 1 all over 2. So you're going to get this as a result. Now, the mathematical induction is somehow very complex, but when you take your time and go through what I've done, sit down and understand what I'm saying, you'll be able to understand. Now, we have two ways in which the question can be put. So let's solve the next one, which is the example 2 is prove that 2 exponent n is greater than n plus 4, where n is greater than or equal to 3. So this one, they've given us a condition that n should be what? Greater than or equal to 3. So you can choose from 3 to infinity, but let's choose 3 to see whether the statement is correct. So when n is equal to 3, you're going to replace 3 inside. So that will be 2 exponent 3 greater than 3 plus 4. This will be 8 and this will be 7. That means that the statement is correct. That means that the statement is correct. Now with this, you're not going to do n is equal to 1 because with this, they've given us a condition here that we need to follow, right? That is, they've given us the interval, that is n is greater than or equal to 3, so that they've given the interval. But with the first one, they didn't give you any interval. Do you understand? So with this, there are two ways of in which the question can be put. So now let's move on. So when n is equal to k, the same rule, you're going to replace this by k. That is from the original question. So that will be 2 exponent k greater than k plus 4. Now when n is equal to k plus 1, you're going to replace by 2 exponent k plus 1 greater than k plus 1 plus 4, which is 2 exponent k plus 1 a greater than k plus 5. So with this, when you get to this place, you're going to bring something as indices. You know that this 2 exponent k plus 1 can be written as 2 exponent k times 2 exponent 1. Well, 1 is not written here, but let me bring it, which is what? Greater than k plus 5. So we are going to express it. But you know that now, when you check here, you know that 2 exponent k is greater than k plus 4. With this, it becomes equal to, so you're going to replace 2 exponent k with this k plus 4, which will give you 2 into bracket k plus 4 is greater than k plus 5. With this, for you to know that your answer is correct, you're going to test with the interval given. That is, n is greater than or equal to 3. So you can put 3 inside and check, would this be greater than that? If it's that, it means that your proven is correct. Your proven is correct. Yes. So the end, you're going to bring this again. You see, this here is the same as this. We just expanded it. Yes. So you put in your values and see whether your answer is correct. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please note that your subscription is a count to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love you.